Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing you another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the DC Direct DC Essentials New 52 Nightwing in his red suit. Now I personally prefer Nightwing in his blue suit, but I welcome all the figures. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging here. As you can see, DC Essentials Nightwing from the New 52. Here he is in the package. We've got his Eskrima sticks down there. DC Direct from the source. 25th figure in the DC Essentials line. DC logo up there. The top, got a red Nightwing logo. One side, here's the figure. Nothing on the other side. The bottom, there is a barcode, in case that helps anybody, as well as a bunch of credits. And then in the back, you can see Nightwing here, and then some other recent DC Direct action figures you should track down. So with no further ado, let's open them up. And I did end up getting two of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, one to keep unopened in my complete 6 and 7 inch Batman-related unopened action figure collection. And this guy was part of a huge lot of figures I got in the mail. Huge haul today. Just look at all that awesomeness. The place I pre-ordered most of these DC Collectibles figures from ended up falling through, so I tracked them down, and what are the odds they all came the same day? Alright. Now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He does come with two of Nightwing's Eskrima sticks. But before I look at the accessories, let's check out the actual figure. So this is Nightwing from the New 52 in his red suit. Now I am not nearly as fond of the red suit as I am the blue suit. This looks to be a straight repaint off the other Nightwing from DC Essentials, but we will check that out later in the video. So looking at his head, hair looks pretty good. I like that mask on there. Very shiny paint job. Going further down, got the sort of Nightwing bird symbol in the front there. Double jointed elbows. Double jointed knees. Very glossy paint job. He's got the sort of fins on his gauntlets there. Overall, pretty solid looking figure. It's a decent variant as far as it makes sense for them to do this one. Now let's look at his Eskrima sticks. These are Nightwing's signature weapons. Now these are a little thinner than the usual Nightwing figures come with, and definitely thinner than my tastes. So if you look at it, pretty much a black little stick, but there is some sculpting detail where the handle part is. Here he is holding his sticks, and unlike many other Nightwing figures, he has nowhere to holster or stow them away. Although he doesn't actually include any additional or alternate hands, his two hands are very easily removable. You don't have to heat them up, they pop right out, which leads me to believe that at one point they were going to include additional hands with the various figures, but they cheaped out and didn't do that. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to top, he's sitting at about 7.0 inches tall, which is going to translate to a hair under 18 centimeters. And now, let's look at his articulation. This guy had some pretty tight joints. I was able to free up everything naturally except his neck. Did give him a hot water bath and was able to completely free that up. So starting with his head here, of course it can rotate from side to side. His head can look up about that far and then down about that far. Pretty nice. Shoulders on a ball joint, think about 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a bicep cut below that, double jointed elbows below that. His wrist here, they can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. He's got an ab crunch in the middle, waist swivel below that. Legs on ball joints, completely do the splits. They go forward about that far, and back really not much. It's got a thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then his ankle here, it's got that ball down there, go up and down. It can rotate around, cannot really tilt and rock. If you want to achieve that, you've got to kind of rotate the ball, and then you can tilt and rock to your heart's desire. Now, let's check out his reuse. Upon first glance, I thought it was a straight repaint off the previous DC Essentials Nightwing, and for the most part it is, but not 100%. So starting with these two guys, their heads are completely the same. Their chest and torso area is entirely the same. Shoulders, biceps the same, but going a little bit lower, his forearm is different. They took the forearm from Batman and attached it at the elbow here. That is really the only difference between these figures. I can tell the sculpting lines here are the same as Batman. Going lower, the crotch and the legs and the feet, 100% identical, although painted considerably different. So in effect, this Nightwing is pretty much a repaint of the previous DC Essentials Nightwing, with a dash of Batman included. You can see the arms are definitely from Batman. Here he is in the Batcave having a conversation with a New 52 Batman. Here he is in the streets of Gotham, or possibly Bloodhaven, taking out a bunch of thugs. Now let's check him out, compared with some other action figures, starting off with some other DC Essentials figures. Here he is with the first DC Essentials Nightwing. Here are all the different DC Essentials figures I have that use the same buck. The same torso, same arms, same legs for the most part between all these figures. And I'm certain that Flash, Reverse Flash, Green Lantern, and Superman also use the same body. Now, they use a lot of reuse in this line, and that's kind of annoying, but I still think these figures look pretty good. They move pretty good, and they're scaled up pretty nicely. 7 inches tall, they fit in with McFarlane decently. I was definitely one of the DC Essentials supporters, and I hate to see this line go. These are all the DC Essentials figures that I have in my collection. Very nice line. I would say my favorite are going to be Nightfall Batman, Nightfall Catwoman, Cheetah, and Red Hood, although they all look very sharp. Now this is not the first time they've given us Nightwing in his red suit. The first 3 are all from DC Direct. The last one is from Mattel. McFarlane also has a red New 52 Nightwing coming, and I believe I'm actually going to get mine tomorrow. Now let's check them out, next to all the different Nightwing figures that I have. Here's the McFarlane Nightwing, and the McFarlane does have a red Nightwing coming as well. Here he is, next to all the different DC Direct and DC Collectibles Nightwing figures that I have. I'm missing at least the 2 different paint variations of the old school Disco Nightwing. Then, here, with all the different Mattel Nightwing figures that I have. And here he is, next to all the different 6 and 7 inch Nightwing figures that I have. I'm missing at least 2 from Mattel and 2 from DC Direct. Here he is, next to a custom Nightwing figure. This is Tad Ryerstad as Nightwing. In the original comic run of Nightwing, Tad Ryerstad was inspired by Nightwing, donned this imitation Nightwing costume, ended up fighting crime. He had a buzz off the danger and ended up becoming a danger to himself and others. Here he is, next to a DC Direct Power Girl as Nightwing figure. Nightwing's real identity is Dick Grayson. Here's a Dick Grayson in civilian attire that I made. And here, next to a Mattel Dick Grayson as Batman figure. And here he is with all the different Dick Grayson as Robin figures that I have. Now let's check him out, compared with some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Here he is with some of his DC Direct and DC Collectibles brothers. And here he is with some DST, or Diamond Select toys. Then with some McFarlane toys. And here with some NECA figures. Then with some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is with some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Then with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And with some Mafex figures. Then with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is with some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, here he is with some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is a pretty nice figure. I really do like the DC Essentials line. It has its flaws, being they all share the same body. Their arms are a little bit too long, but I'm totally okay with that. You just have to pose them a little bit the right way. It's not much of an issue. This guy's articulation is excellent. Sculpt is very nice as well. The accessories, his stick's a little bit too small for my liking. And overall, I definitely prefer the blue Nightwing to the red look. but this is a variant that makes sense, so I can definitely appreciate it. Overall, if I were to rate this figure, I think I give him a 6.5 out of 10. The figure itself is very nice, but I definitely prefer the blue Nightwing, so this guy's not going to get a lot of mileage in my action figure world. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.